living in Melbourne, it's been really exciting for us as artists. The gigs that we've done have ranged from like real hipster gigs to doing like a little function for the elders, to big corporate stages, to big festival stages, and for people of all ages. And it's been such a wonderful experience. But also one thing that I know has been exciting in Melbourne is that we've been able to travel to Sydney, to Adelaide, to Hobart, to Brisbane. Like, so we've kind of been up and down the East Coast, and it's just so beautifully multicultural and ranges all sorts of different genres here, and there's so much of it for us to feed off and feed into like our own music.
Yeah, I noticed that as soon as we moved to Melbourne from Perth and we made that trip from Perth to Melbourne, it was like all these other opportunities opened up on this side of Australia. So it was pretty amazing that we got that first show in Brisbane, and then other shows just opened up to Sydney, and we've discovered that the music scene over here is much more diverse, much more bigger.
And as First Nations artists, we're able to dive into that First Nations community and do a lot of gigs alongside some of the people that we were aspiring to at the time. Was Moju was coming out, big act, and we ended up crossing paths with her like at some gigs and doing some gigs with her, and also who else were we? Electric Fields. Electric Fields was just one of the other big bands that we were looking up to and that we got to meet, and everybody was over on the East Coast.
And they infused like with a bit of like Aboriginal language as well in their music, with a bit of electronic pop, which was something that we kind of connected with Electric Field. So that was pretty amazing. And then when you got artists like Baker Boy as well, that has got the hip hop and language. So it's pretty important because we've got a lot of language in our music as well. So to see other artists doing it, it feels nice that we're
it's such a big community. It's the music community in Melbourne is just so welcoming and accepting. It's just really a really good place to be.
Noongar language is where I'm from, and usually we would ask an elder in the community, or we would ask even my mum, because she does language consultancy. So we just make sure that we have that. You know, if we have something just for example, our song We Sing Until Sunrise has Noongar language in it, and that's Nyak Nukari Nyala Waranka, which in Noongar language means the sun is sleeping, but we are still singing and celebrating our culture through dance and through music. So, and it's just really beautiful that when I see my nieces and nephews sending me videos with them singing in language, it just makes me feel, and it makes us feel, that we're doing something really good by keeping our language alive through our music.
For us, it's about building on those opportunities as well. So we'll head over to WA, and we're performing a gig there, and while we're there we're going to ring up our mates or people that other bands in town to say, hey, you want to do a show, let's book the let's book the Astor Theatre and put on a show. So then instantly we've got people coming to the show to see us, and we've got their fans coming to the show, and we're putting on like one big party pretty much. And you could do that at every venue, and I think that's why it's important to collaborate and build relationships with people in all areas. It's important for us to keep a relationship with artists around the country. Generally, like, it's we sleep at people's houses too. We don't have to book accommodation because we're sleeping on the couch.
Everyone's pretty nice, and you're there, they're there, so we're there for the same reasons, So.
And if you're really on low budget, you can book a backpackers. That's
We had bad experience.
We've booked backpackers.
Don't book backpackers.
Getting ready for gigs, I'm just usually really focused and quiet most of the time. I'm always stressed about what I'm going to be saying and what we have to do on stage and what we got to set up, and so Christelle does all the talking.
I've just pretty much I come to pick up Candice because Candice doesn't drive, so I usually drive to the gigs. I'm
hair and makeup at my house.
Yeah, I do hair and makeup. We do hair and makeup. We get ourselves dressed, and it's a fun process. Like, it's pretty fun to get ready for gigs, and
it's like going out on the town for the night. Really.
Yeah, and then the whole way there, I'm just talking in the car, and then backstage, I'm talking even more. Candice likes to keep nice and calm, whereas I don't.
It's the nervous talk.
I just like to talk heaps. And then,
when I'm nervous, I'm quite nervous, she talks.
Yeah, and then when we're on stage, she talks, I like to sing.
me one last kiss goodbye. If we shall